Shea Weber, the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. The sort of, you could say if Gallagher is the heart, he is the backbone of the team. I think leadership as fans, sometimes we're like, whatever. And sometimes it is overthrown a bit too much in hockey. Though I think if there was a player that really exemplifies it, it's been Shea Weber. Honestly, I'm pretty sure it was like the number one reason they traded for him. Anyway, there is doubt whether he will play next year at all. There is even some speculation that he might be done. There have been some BC reporters saying apparently he's lining stuff up. I don't want to think that way. I have a lot of respect for Shea Weber. He didn't have a great regular season. He missed, I think it's 95 games in his time as a Hab. Remember that year that he came back in, I want to say it's late November because he was dealing with an injury. That left foot, ankle, knee area has been such a concern for him. I'm not going to say career, hello, what do we think of Shea Weber and his legacy, because we're not there yet. There is one issue I want to talk about here, and this is one that is I may legit get really mad at this. I haven't gotten really mad on the show for a while, but this could happen. So this is from Darren Drager on Twitter. Shea Weber's body's beaten up. Is it possible he plays again? ? Possible, but leaning towards unlikely. The NHL isn't commenting, however, based on history of other players granted LTI. If the NHL's hard line doesn't soften, this case will likely end in dispute with the PA. So I was a bit like, okay, I want to make sure I get this right. So I sent it to Elliot Friedman, and I'm like, can you, I said, could you explain this to me like I'm 5? And he got back to me, and he's like, NHL pushing back on LTIR for now. So I just wanted, so first off, the big sort of hurdle here is Shea Weber has, and Daniel mentioned the offer sheet, has one of those illegal contracts that predate the lockout, aka the same one that Parise and Suter have, Duncan Keith has, the thing that Luongo and the Canucks are kind of being dinged for right now, aka cap recapture if he were to retire. Now, it hits Nashville a lot worse than it hits Montreal, but I find it, and the reason the pan in the background is leaning because he is so sad about what's happening with Shea Weber. The thing I have a real problem with, guys, is Zetterberg was on LTIR. I'm putting him to the side because I think his injury was legit. Pavel Datsyuk went to go play in the KHL, LTIR. Marian Hossa got a rash all of a sudden for equipment and was allowed to be put on LTIR. I'm not even going to mention the Kucherov stuff, even though that's probably what's told the league, all right, we're going to stop this. It's so, the irony in the Habs losing to the Cup final, Tampa damaging the Cup and it having to be sent to Montreal for repairs. The news the captain may be gone, and it's because of the team they lost to that the Habs may have, Shea Weber may have to retire instead of doing the LTIR thing, and it's screwing Nashville and to an extent screwing Montreal because now the league has decided to push back on this LTIR nonsense. The Blackhawks got away with it. Everyone got away with it. And it's sickening to me when Weber, compared to all those other guys except maybe Zetterberg, is the only one that is legit probably have a career-ending injury. Him crying when they lost in the Cup final, if you look back on that now, the meaning is unbelievable because he probably knew how bad it was. But this is when the league pushed back. It's such a it's Bush League. Bush League, Bush League, Bush League. I have lost everything for Bettman the past couple of weeks. Any good grace I had with the guy, I'm done with it. It's a joke. The standards are hilariously lopsided sometimes. And I think I was talking to Baldwin. I don't know if he was joking on this. And I hate taking this narrative, but he said, it's hilarious how slanted it is for Canadian teams. That's obviously not true because we've seen what Toronto have done with LTIR. I'm so annoyed by this. And Shea Weber deserves so much more. Just think about how much pain was he in playing in the Cup final. You saw what he was doing to Braden Point at the end of that series. On one leg with one hand. He scored in one of those, I think it was the third round. I'm throwing my dinosaur egg from my McDonald's Happy Meal a couple months ago. I'm mad, and I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna rant too much. I'm gonna swear something. I'm beyond mad about this. I can't. I hate this league.
Yeah, I mean, we've had this discussion before.
Mostly.
You have all right to be upset. I'm like, oh, I'm not even gonna dispute it. But I do think that the NHL is just playing a game here. I don't think they're actually taking this seriously. And I think I know why. In 2014, was that Patrick Kane when he got injured, correct? The year he got injured for the remainder of the let's see. In 2014, in a collision with Brendan Morrow, he missed the remainder of the regular season, but returned for the 2014 playoff. He was injured on March 19th. So in the summer, I believe there was talks that the owners, the league brought forth that we could get rid of this LTIR nonsense and fix the system. Two teams said, okay, Tampa Bay, and I believe it is St. Louis. So I'm curious, how many owners do you think have changed hands since 2014?
Wait. You're saying St. Louis and Tampa said get rid of it?
Yes.
They were the only two, or two?
Correct.
No.
Two that were out there that we know of. I mean, I'd be sure that at this point we know, right? Which is ironic considering Tampa.
What Tampa did, yeah. And they're still doing.
Well,
correct.
You know why they said yes? Because you said it was 2014.
In 2014, Patrick Kane got injured.
I was going to say never mind because it was in 2015 they lost in the finals to Chicago. No. That's hilarious.
Right.
That's great. Amazing.
So how many owners do you think have changed since that year? And take Vegas and Seattle out of it because that's just
enough where there is an investigation with Weber right now. Enough have.
3. The Islanders, the Hurricanes, and the Coyotes. How many? Like they don't have. I'm sorry, the Coyotes have 0 pull.
Wait. Because they just had the GM meetings, didn't they? Or some sort of that.
No. I'm just asking. They did have the GM meetings, but just for the sake.
Okay.
In 2014, it was the Islanders.
Oh, okay.
In 2018, it was the Hurricanes, and in 2019, it was the Coyotes. All these teams don't have a lot of pull. I really think the NHL is just doing this because a lot of people are talking about it. I think when it comes down to it, they're going to do nada about this situation. I think Shea Weber will rightfully go on LTIR because he's injured. I think they're doing this as a publicity stunt. And I think people are realizing that. Like, look how upset you are. This is, in my eyes, this is a full publicity stunt. If they go through with this, that's just stupidity. That's beyond stupidity.
Because Daniel, I'm sure you want to say something. I just want to say, so the Islanders, that was probably before Lou, because why would
correct?
The Coyotes, which is hilarious, because I guess they're just going to ignore the Datsuk deal. That's great. We'll just forget about that. I find that really rich. Go ahead, Daniel. Anyway,
it's just, I don't know. It just feels like unfortunate and weird that they're using Shea Weber as, I guess, that big time example now of this is why we have to fix LTIR. When, again, like when I look at the Tampa side of things after the final, like I don't know, like this is just a hype. Like this is rhetorical. Like, what are you going to give rings to Marian Gaborik and Anders Nielsen?
They should.
That's like the one thing I kind of think about. And I know that it was during the playoffs. They said they want to fix this. So like, why not go to the team that's actually over the cap, then going to Montreal, where I think there's a legitimate reason that you need LTIR for Shea Weber, that it's already been shown throughout the rounds how many injuries he sustained. And like, again, it's like, I don't know. It's just comical to me because it's a guy that actually played this season. The guy that, like, was it?
Like, just what do you think an X-ray on his left foot is going to tell you right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I was actually concerned about the hand because like the amount of highlights or like reviews they showed, like the amount of time like he's hit his hand.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see how that actually looks like.
Like how many cross checks did he give against someone?
Yeah, or they must like he still takes the slap shots like full strength. I'm like, oh my gosh, that must have like killed him.
And the goal he scored was off a classic Weber slap shot. And and he was playing the power play. It's like, man, his pain tolerance. He is not human. He's a bear. He's a mountain. By the way, obviously, this has massive repercussions for Montreal because they lose. I think like the top four right side of Montreal, him and Petrie, has been an obvious bright spot of the team. I'm not going to be like, hey, they should go after Dougie Hamilton because that's obvious. And I'd be really happy if they did that, but we'll see. Or do they overreact and get Seth Jones? Please don't, because the price is apparently hilariously high. Man, imagine giving up like DeBrincat and Doc and a first for Seth Jones.
Oh my god!
Even if it's prime Seth Jones, no.